name is Bryce Oakley. I am the father of 4 wonderful children, and I own my own business. The business is called Oakley Roofing, Oakley Construction, and Oakley Holdings. We started our business with my wife back in 1994, so we are, I guess, in our 22nd year of owning our own construction business, and we've been through many ups and downs through the economy, and have been able to weather bad times and have done well in the good times. So we've seen a wide range of different economies. So that is a little bit about Oakley Roofing, and I guess I'm going to answer a few questions now to help Bryton and others understand what I do day to day.
All right, first question is, what's the average salary?
The average salary, well, I guess that would depend on what your position is in the industry. If you're a labor guy, kind of the starting range for just a basic labor guy, a guy that we've got as a helper or a cleanup guy to our main crews, their starting position is going to be somewhere around $15 an hour. The more skilled guys that can do things on their own, but yet still part of a crew, are usually around $20 an hour, 22, somewhere in that range. And then we've got our lead foremen that are usually somewhere around $30 when they're paid by the hour. They usually prefer to work as a piece rate, which is basically just an agreement that is made between either myself or another sales guy that determines if they're being paid by the job or by a unit of pricing. So if they can produce so many squares an hour or whatever they're installing, they get paid on that unit of pricing, which usually will put them over their $30 range into the 40s, somewhere around in there. We have sales guys that, range anywhere from probably 60 to one that's doing really well at probably 150,000 a year. And then of course the owners, we can hit the whole range. We either make $15 an hour or we can lose $15 an hour. It all depends on how good we are, I guess, or bad.
All right, what are some benefits and non-benefits to being the owner or just having a business in general?
I would say some of the benefits, again, would be benefits and disadvantages, because for example, your hours, you of course get to make your own hours, and you decide when you're going to work. Again, that can be a disadvantage because you can really put in a lot of hours. You can work a lot harder and a lot longer than somebody that's working for somebody else or someone that is not an owner. They can kind of clock out when they're done with work. A lot of times owners of businesses will take their work home with them. The phone's always ringing. There's never a time where you get to just check out and you're not working. So but there again, I can take days off when I need days off. I don't have anyone that says I've got to be there. It's all determined inside, and maybe some of the other advantages are got decisions, I get, of course, make all the decisions. I also have the control, and I guess the biggest advantage is if you do all those things right, the pay is a great payoff.
Okay. What are some day-to-day tasks for you?
So it kind of usually starts with the bidding process for me, of trying to bid a job.
So explain what bidding is.
So typically we'll either get an invite from an existing customer or client, or sometimes we'll search out new customers and clients, and we'll inspect their jobs. And that's either done on site by looking at an existing project, or a lot of times projects will be new construction jobs that are bid off of plans. And we break those plans down on our computers with different software, takeoff material tools. PlanSwift is one of them that we use a lot of, and that helps us to analyze the plans and decide how big an area is, or how many square feet or units need to be built or roofed, and from there we take those numbers and we convert those into our spreadsheets, and we calculate our materials, we calculate our labor, we calculate our overhead and our liabilities, our burdens to the labor, and we come up with a final number. And then from there we decide, okay, we want to make so much profit based off of that job cost number that we created. And that's a part of the bidding process. From there, once we bid the job and we've got a good number and we've been contracted to do it by the owner, then we submit our plan to the owner. That's called a submittal package. Then from there, we order the materials, and then we also figure out the delivery of the materials, the logistics to get them to the job site or on a roof, whether we need a crane, whether we need to shut down the street to get the materials there. We line up the labor every day. We figure out who's going to perform the work, who's the best guy to complete that task, and what he's going to get paid again, the unit price agreement. Scheduling, we schedule every day, figuring out who's going to be where. When the job's done, we go out and we inspect the work, make sure that it's all done right and that we can sign off on the workmanship, make sure we're not going to have future problems or callbacks, because those can definitely affect your bottom line in a hurry. After that, we usually make customer contact again and let them know that the work is complete. We invoice them and hopefully get paid. If we don't get paid right then we've got another job of collections, which we hope we don't have to do that much of, but sometimes that's necessary to try to find the money and hunt that down. So that's kind of my day-to-day tasks.
Okay, so final question: what is the education you need for this? What do you think would help?
So the